Hello everyone, welcome back to Culture Shock and Shufflemancy. Just want to remind everybody that guided healing is up on YouTube. I still have 6 left at the discounted price of $44.44 for that. I would also like to announce that I am doing eclipse spreads. For the eclipse that happened, we take a look at, your astrological chart to see where the eclipses are happening. We also take a look into what you are currently healing and what needs to be released during this eclipse season, and what new perspective to embrace for the Sagittarius eclipse that's happening on the 14th. So that is available now through the 13th of December, the day before the eclipse, for $33.33. If you're interested, let me know. So I want to let you know that already David Bowie peeked out during the cleansing ceremony, and I only say that because David Bowie was kind of the star of the show for Taurus's reading this month. So if you are a Taurus or have Taurus placements, this might especially pertain to you or what is happening in your second house in your chart. So let's see what is going on for the collective. Coming out stuck, we have Dolly Parton. Okay, it's funny because I have been hearing, like, Dolly Parton keeps coming into my energy, and like I've always known about her but not really, and like the song Jolene was just like playing in my head for like a week, and then I got a neighbor's like mail in my mailbox and the name was Jolene. I'm like, what? And now it makes sense because Dolly wants to come out today. So Dolly Parton, absolutely, kind of girl next door energy of, the blonde Southern belle type life. I don't really know too much about Dolly Parton. I know about her museum. I know that she is an amazing philanthropist, that she does a lot to help children, and that she does a lot to help people in need. So it definitely looks like the Divine Feminine is kind of focusing a little bit on that energy. The attitude is the higher the heels, the closer to heaven. I'm hearing that the first song wants to come out. Fortune Days by the Glitch Mob. Drink the Sea. So it does look like the feminine is having some pretty good fortune. Like they have found a glitch in the matrix that has allowed them to... Oh, does this not want to turn on? Okay. That has allowed them to drink the sea, like really drink in the water of what has been going on. And yeah, like, the sea is controlled, right? The tides is controlled by Cancer, the Divine Feminine. Dolly Parton definitely gives me some Cancer energy. So yeah, it looks like good fortune's happening for the feminine, and it's because they are getting closer to heaven. They're ascending, and this doesn't necessarily mean that they're taking away any of their physical femininity. Perhaps there could be an emphasis of like, yeah, you know what, if I want to wear high heels, I'm going to wear high heels. That doesn't make me, any less angelic or heavenly or anything like that. So I definitely feel a lot of emphasis kind of on wardrobe. We have the lifestyle. Caution will get you nowhere. So it definitely feels like the Divine Feminine energy for the collective is really, like, no, I'm not going to stand back and just be cautious, for the sake of being cautious because of some type of fear that is being put in, especially when it comes to the concept of time, I'm hearing, and that's the T. We have shade, Portugal the man. Yeah, even though the masculine has been throwing shade at the feminine about something, but that's the T. We have church mouth. So it looks like the masculine is kind of taking a holier than thou church mouth, like trying to dictate to the feminine, what exactly it means to be feminine, right? And the feminine's like, nope, I'm going to get closer to heaven and I'm going to wear high heels doing it. And I'm not going to be cautious or be small in any sort of way. I'm not wasting any more time, is what the feminine is saying. The inspiration is the most precious diamonds are sometimes disguised as rhinestones. So there is something to be said about valuing things, right? And that's that kind of Taurus energy, because Taurus like rules, all things with the 5 senses, as well as materialism, right? And that doesn't mean like consumerism. Materialism is caring about the quality of the material of which something is made, right? So, of wanting, a diamond ring rather than a rhinestone. But it looks like the Divine Feminine is really understanding what the value really is. Like, hey, if I want something fucking sparkly, I'm going to do some rhinestones so I can help some kids out, right? And be a true divine feminine. Like, I'm not wasting time. I don't need all these pretty things. You know, I have better things to do than with my money, right? But some things, quality, you need, right? Like, you're not going to buy a junked up car because then, you know, it's going to cost you more money in the long term and things like that, right? You're going to have to keep fixing it. So buying, you know, a better piece of something that is going to help you in your life, right? It's worth it. But it's the divine feminine really understanding what the value, you know, is. And I'm hearing like looking a certain way, right? And this is the divine feminine energy within the collective. So, you know, she's, they's, them's, he's, everybody's, right? Everyone has some divine feminine energy within them. It's the flow that balances the, you know, masculine structure. But anyway, yeah, it's just really about understanding, like, yeah, some things are important to spend money on and some of them aren't. So it definitely feels like the aspect of what is being valued is really, really shifting. Let's see if we can get a little clarity. Love Shop, 12 mix, Damien Strong. So Damien is, you know, a word that is associated with the devil, right? And it definitely feels like the feminine, like they've been inside a shop of love and buying like 12 different versions of the same type of, you know, devil strong type love, which devil is, you know, when you're overly attached to the physical world, to the masculine energy, right? Like, you know, wanting someone in the physical world, or, you know, indulging in too much food or drink or drugs or TV, right? Anything in the physical world that is a unhealthy attachment for the spirit is devil energy. And it looks like that is really what is being overcome in love, is like, yeah, you know, I need some physical things, but you know, it's worth it having the rhinestones so that I can be a philanthropist, kind of like Dolly Parton. So let's learn a little bit more about Dolly. She came out in another reading for guided healing this month. I don't remember. It could have been Cancer, but it's in the middle somewhere. I wish I could remember. It might have even been Taurus. Shit. All right. So Dolly Parton, United States, 1946. Down to earth, but larger than life, country singer, pop star, actress, and theme park mogul, the unsinkable Dolly Parton is undoubtedly one of the most beloved figures in popular music, appealing to a vast crossover audience that stretches far beyond hardcore country fans and even harder core drag queens who copy her gloriously garnished style. Yeah, that's another thing about Dolly Parton. You know, not everyone, you know, listens to her music, but I've never really heard a bad word about Dolly Parton, right? There definitely can be some aspect of kind of clinging to beauty, but there's nothing wrong with beautifying yourself, right? There is also this energy, right, of how the masculine is embracing this, the drag culture. Like, yeah, I'm going to embrace my own inner femininity. I'm going to get some rhinestones. I'm going to wear some heels, and I can act like Dolly Parton if I want to. And that doesn't say anything against the masculine energy either, right? It's okay for feminine energy to really be in their own, you know, right. So standing over just 5 feet tall in heels and super teased, super blonde wig, Parton achieved fame, Parton achieved fame at a time when female country singers were largely cast as passive victims of circumstances. Yeah, the divine feminine is no longer doing that. There's no longer this victim mentality. It's like, all right, I'm not going to be cautious. It's time to move forward. I need to start ascending. I need to get closer to heaven here. I'm hearing the next song, Scars by Papa Roach. Getting away with murder. So there definitely are some scars, some things in the past that are really being healed by the divine feminine. And with Papa Roach, it definitely feels like father wounds, daddy wounds are really being healed as the feminine starts to move forward on their own. There could also be this energy of the feminine, you know, kind of letting the masculine get away with things in some sort of way. And now it's like, all right, no more of that. Now I'm moving forward. I heard that this wants to play. So, you know, it definitely talks about this difference between, you know, spirit and mind. but, you know, the weakness is that it has cared too much. And that's kind of how the feminine is like, you know, the only thing I did was care too much about whatever this sort of thing is. But now, you know, I don't have the time to be cautious about things. I really need to start, you know, raising my vibration, ascending. Even, and it's like, you know, the scars remind me that the past is real. It does feel like the feminine is also understanding how to, you know, fully get rid of scars, even on a cellular basis. So it says, one of a large and very poor family, she used her iron will, her singing talents, her exceptional songwriting skills, and her steely self-confidence to knock down the solid walls that stood between her and international stardom. Yeah, Dolly did not let anything, you know, push her down. Even, you know, people saying like, oh, well, there she is with her blonde hair and big boobs, right? That sort of toxic femininity, judging her for who she is, what she wants to be sort of thing. I'm definitely feeling like a betrayal of other feminines here. But Dolly Parton didn't let that stop her, right? She had things to do. She wanted to help the world, and she really got to where she needed to be. All right, this song is what wants to close it out. Midnight Sun by Walter Carlos, Sonic Seasonings. So, you know, it does feel like there's something kind of ending in Sagittarius season is what I'm getting with the sun, because the sun's in Sagittarius. Like, this season is really, really been an interesting time. Let's see what this song has to say. Oh, yeah, very healing. Okay. It's an over 20-minute song of like, so yeah, it does feel like the feminine is going into the midnight sun, which is like the dark and the light, right? Really balancing things on their own. Because, yeah. All right, let's see what the shadow side of this. Let's get some advice. Coming out stuck, we have atonement. So there is, right, this is the Ten of Swords for me. When like the conversation has been over, there could be some sort of backstabbing, and you know, there is this energy of like atoning for one's sins. And it does look like in the shadow that is what is being stuck here, is that there is some sort of atonement. Has a conversation come to an end in some way? Yes, it has. And now it's time to pay for sins in some sort of way. But part of that is like, all right, well, I am going to do what I need to do to get to heaven, sort of thing. Let's see, what's the light? Unbound. Yeah, a lot of soul contracts have really been released when it comes to this Gemini full moon that we already had, right? The full moon eclipse. And a lot of feminines have really unbound themselves so that they can ascend. And that's everyone's feminine energy, right? So definitely releasing these soul patterns, contracts, and past life relationships. And that is what this Ten of Swords is. Like, all right, enough talking. I'm not being cautious. I'm not wasting any more time. I have things to do. And then we have the awakening, energetic upgrades, a new way of being, integration. Yeah, so this is definitely, once again, we have this sort of ascension vibe where there has been a mass awakening, and the feminine energy is what is awakening the most. Like, all right, time to, you know, get my spirit on a heavenly vibration so that I can, you know, start manifesting heaven on earth, because who else is going to do it, right? And I can still look pretty and have nice things, but I don't have to waste all of my money on, you know, having a super yacht or something. I would rather help the kids, help people who are less fortunate than me, right? Be a true matriarch here. But it looks like right now what the feminine is really focused on is just sort of ascending, raising their vibration, and getting out of these soul contracts. So I hope that you got what you needed. Again, thank you for tuning in. I'm sending you so much love, a big hug, and a kiss on your third eye. Mwah.